here, co-founder of KOLI. Beside me, I'm very lucky and privileged to have a distinguished guest and my dear friend as well, Ken Okazaki from Japan.
Correct.
And he is a wonderful man with a great heart to help people. And just on his Facebook page alone, he has over 169,000 followers. Okay, and he has a mission to really help marketers, entrepreneurs, and videographers to really grow and scale up their business. Dear Ken,
Yep.
being an influencer yourself and working with many influencers, what do you think of influencers with a lot of followers? Does it mean that they are really an influencer?
Good question, and thank you for the introduction. When it comes to influencer marketing, which a lot of people call it, people are putting too much value around each follower and like. And to tell you the truth, a lot of the people who follow me are probably never going to become my customers, and I probably won't see a positive ROI because they like random posts or something like that. Now, to answer your question about is there too much, what does it mean? Like, what number is it, right?
Yeah.
That's hard to tell, but I can say one thing: I know of a lot of people who are putting too high a value on the number of followers. And what they're doing is they're hoping to become like a Kardashian or an NBA player who can just hashtag a certain brand name or do product placement for something and get paid between $100,000 to $500,000 for that.
What?
Yeah, it happens.
Crazy.
But this is after you already have tons of social proof, not just on Instagram, but on other platforms as well. Now, the majority of people who are trying to make a career out of influencer marketing, that means that they're spending a lot of time and money on brand name clothes, expensive camera gear, and on traveling to exotic locations to take these photos. The majority of them will never make their money back. And it's really sad because they think that just because they have a lot of followers, money will magically fall into their lap and they can just hashtag something and make money back. It almost never happens. So it's a bit sad, but it's the truth.
So that means that even having a lot of followers does not mean that you are truly influencing people. Does not mean that you have money, even if you have a lot of followers. Ken, because a lot of the people in our community, they are popular, they have many followers. Any advice for how do they not just have followers but are able to be wealthy as well?
Yeah. So the key thing is that you have to have a business model. And that means that, for example, everybody has a different thing. Like for you have an education system where people pay you money and take your courses, either live or online, and they learn a skill that will help their business or their personal life or health. Do you teach anything about health?
A little bit of mental health.
Coming soon. But if you have something to offer that people can see value in, and here's the important part, you have a proven record of being able to make a transaction of values. You give them information or know-how and they give you cash. If you have a proven record of that happening, then yes, go all in with influencer marketing and market your own product. Now, if you don't have a proven model of being able to sell a service or a product and people giving you cash, then I think it's very risky to be investing your time and your money into getting more followers without first having an established model or any kind of evidence that people are going to be willing to pay for that.
And currently, because being an influencer, that is a very catchy profession that many people want to get into. So they spend a lot of time thinking, hey, how can I have a lot of followers? But I believe that you didn't start out that way. So how are you still able to get so many followers on your Facebook? How did that happen?
Well, to tell you the truth, I just ran ads on Facebook and I said, please like my page. And some of my likes are just, I literally just said, please like my page. And I think I probably spent a couple $1,000s. But the majority is because I just kept making a lot of videos that people found valuable. And what people do when they see the video, if they want to see more, then they're going to go to my page and click like, and then they'll be notified when new videos come out. So it's really that simple, is the more you give altruistically, that means that you're giving for a reason that's more than about you, it's more than about them. It's about a higher purpose. For example, when I close my videos, if I talk about marketing, I say something to the effect of, look guys, if this marketing advice was interesting to you, then it might be interesting to somebody else. If you have somebody in your circle of friends who's struggling in business because they don't understand marketing and they're doing it their own way, and you cringe, and the truth is that you want them to be successful and more happy, but you're seeing stress in their life that's affecting their wife, their children, and all the employees in the company. When you know someone like that, do me a favor and help them by sharing this video with them and help them improve their marketing. Now, see what I did there? What I did is I made it something that's about not about me. I'm not saying
Yes.
make me famous, help me reach 1 million followers, or like you're gonna get rich if you do this. What I'm saying is it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about a higher purpose. It's about fixing families. It's about helping children. It's about helping someone get out of stress. It's about helping all the employees of somebody else's company. And then people feel like yes, they will share for a higher purpose, and then they feel like you are somebody who's in a position of being generous, of being holistic in your views, and they want to be a part of what you're doing. And without you having to give them any money, they will want to help your mission and go and like your page and share your stuff.
So we should be creating content that is for the greater good of more people, not just our
Well, the
own.
thing is, you can even take what you already have,
Yeah.
but when you ask them for their first commitment, this is before a sale. This is before you ask them for money or ask them to get on your email list. Like before any of that, you want to ask them to share it and give them an altruistic purpose. And that's the easiest way to get them from watching to clicking. Click as in click the next video. It's click share. And share it to your wall or tag a friend or something like that. Make it not about you, not about them, about a higher purpose, and that's called the altruistic ask. Super powerful, really powerful, and it's one of the key components behind a lot of my videos that went viral.
Well, that is a very, very powerful mindset to have when you're creating content. Ken, nowadays a lot of people who wants to aspire to become influencer, many of them are creating content. So how can an influencer stand out from another influencer?
The truth is a lot of people who make content, especially when you're talking to the camera and trying to teach something, a couple of things happen. Number one, people are afraid to do it because they haven't experienced that they saw some kind of douchey, pushy, salesy kind of video message. They're like, I don't want to do that, so they don't make it at all. Or they see other people sincerely trying to share good knowledge and information, but they sound like everybody else. That's why people don't stand out, and that's why you don't get noticed, because you look just like everybody else. Now, it's not your fault if your videos look like everybody else, because the truth is, we spend most of our time on social media absorbing other people's content. So in our head, we're stuffed with other people's content. So when you try to share stuff, it's only natural that it's going to be influenced by what you learned recently on that same medium. So the way you want to fix that is to identify what are the 6, what I call deep knowledge, points of deep knowledge. The things, 6 different things in your life that you can talk about without having to script, without having to memorize anything, and without needing a teleprompter. For example, just earlier I was talking with you, and I asked you, I said, if you're going to develop apps and you wanted more profit, would you develop on Android or iOS platform? And he just chuckled, and I don't even know what the answer truly is, but he knows it from his gut. Well, have to think about it, right? If I say, what do you like better, Chinese food, Italian food? Like Chinese. You see, it's a gut response. Now, I'm not saying talk about Chinese food or talk about Android versus iOS. What I'm saying is, what are the things that your clients love more than anything else in the world? Maybe it's money. Maybe it's more time with their families, you know? The things that you know instinctually because of your experience. Those are the things you talk about. And then you will not look like everybody else because it's unique to you.
So as influencers, we need to be distinct and different from other people and be
100%.
original.
Yep. 100%.
So Ken, why do you want to be an influencer?
I don't want to be an influencer. Like,
You
my
want to-
goal is not to be an influencer. My goal is to help specifically, well, there's 2 people I help, okay? 2 groups of people. One of them is speakers, authors, consultants, professionals. And I help them to elevate their brand by making videos that people notice. I want just enough people that I want to work with one-on-one to contact me and say, hey, Ken, could you help me with my video? So I have a process, and we spend 2 days together shooting video, and that's going to give you enough content for an entire year. It's kind of like going to the gym and working out like crazy for 2 days, then you got good abs for the whole year. You know, that's kind of my concept, and people love that. Now that's one group. Now the other group, which is something I'm going to launch soon, is really about the struggling videographer, somebody who bought a bunch of expensive gear because they have a passion, they saw a movie, and the thing that makes them happy is just to make video. And everybody says you're good at it, so they go out and start a business, but they realize that their passion is not going to pay the bills. What I have is a really great repeatable process that you can spend just a few days a year and get recurring monthly income per client for an entire year. So you can literally work about 10 days out of a year. 10 days a year will get you recurring monthly income of $10,000. 20 days a year will get you recurring monthly income of $20,000 a month for the entire year. The reason why I say this confidence is because I'm doing the exact same thing myself at an even higher level. I put it at that level because I feel like that's what people can start at. I have a bit of experience, and I get a lot more than that actually. But I want to teach this because I've been doing it myself. I systematize it. So those are the two people. Why do I want to become an influencer? That was your question. And the answer is I don't want to become an influencer in the terms of getting tons of followers. What I want is followers who love what I do and who I feel I can help. That's it. And everybody else, you know, if they like my content, great. If I help make them smile that day or give them some hope or some strategies, great. I don't have a certain number that I need.
And you hear a very important principle over here. Ken doesn't want to be an influencer. Just like, you know, you watch the movies. Spider-Man didn't want to be a hero. Captain America didn't want to be the hero, but they are like the reluctant heroes. And they eventually, because of the skills and abilities they have, they feel a responsibility to go out and help other people. And eventually that's how they become heroes. And that's how Ken became an influencer and a hero to his community. So this is a very, very important lesson. So Ken, why do you think more people should express their gifts and talents and become an influencer?
I went to a workshop once by somebody named Jerry Robert, and he said a phrase that stuck with me. He says, too many people die with their dreams still inside of them. And he was talking about books, you know, like become an author. And here's the truth. When people see the chance to do something that can change their life for the better, what they usually focus on is what are the risks? What might happen if it doesn't go as planned? Another big excuse people use is their children. Like, I can't take this risk because I need to make sure I have enough money for my children to go to college, or, you know, like I have a big family, I should be saving and not investing. Now, when your child grows up, you tell them you can do anything you want in your life, and then they ask you back, what did you do with your life? And then if you say, well, you know, I decided not to take that risk and start that career because I love you so much and I want to keep you safe. You're putting a huge burden on them. You're making them feel guilty. What they feel is, I'm the reason why my dad didn't reach his dream, why my mom didn't take that risk and pursue her career. So by not taking the chance and setting an example of what's possible for your children, you're emotionally scarring your children. And I don't want that kind of guilt on me. I don't want my children to feel guilty that they held me back because they were born, which they couldn't control. They were born, that's why I live this kind of safe life and I sacrifice my dreams and my excitement for them. So my advice is, look, you don't want to live a life of regret. And most of all, if you have children, do not ever say your children are the reason why you can't take this risk, because your children are the reason why you must show an example of what's possible. If you don't want to do that, then I swear to God, I would be so pissed off if I hear that somebody didn't take a risk and then they tell their children anything's possible. Oh, if they try for it. Because they are lying. They're lying through their teeth because they don't believe in themselves because they didn't do it. And you're damaging generations to come. Everybody that's going to follow your generations, your descendants, they're all going to be affected because of the decisions you make today. And I get a little bit fired up about this because I have children myself, and I think about the emotional damage that can happen to them if I don't do my best to reach my full potential.
So being a thought leader, being an influencer is not just for yourself, but for your family, for your children, and your children's children.
Everything has to be for a higher purpose. Then you'll get people to follow. The money will come if you genuinely have a solution that will help people. If you have the guts to tell people you need this, then if you follow through on your plan. And it's for an altruistic person, something bigger than you, something even bigger than your clients. It's your clients' clients, you know? It's what your clients can do to help the world make it a better place. That's your real cause. You gotta go beyond yourself, beyond your clients, something bigger than both of you. Then you have something called purpose.
It's not just about trying to get followers, not just trying to get money, but trying to live your purpose and helping people to find their purpose.
100%.
That's amazing.
100%.
Do you think that this influencer thing is going to be a fad that, you know?
No, who knows? You know, like as long as the Kardashians are alive, and as long as, you know, they're getting paid millions of dollars for a hashtag, then people will keep trying, you know? And, you know, history might prove me wrong, but I believe that we're in a bubble. Just like the housing crisis, people were overvaluing, you know, property prices, and then one day someone realized, hey, it's not worth that much, and then it all crashed. I think the same thing's gonna happen on Instagram. There's Instagram and YouTube stars who don't have a business model behind what they're doing. One day they're gonna realize, hey, if I don't get a proper job and start a proper career or get a real business idea, then I can't pay my bills very much longer. One person's gonna go down, others go down. There are people who have a business model behind it. For example, if you're on YouTube, you could be getting the YouTube royalty fees, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, a few million views, then you could make a living from that. If you have less, then you have to supplement it with something else. If you have sponsorships, there's a lot of ways you can do it. But really, the best way is probably to start your own product. Whether it's information, whether it's clothing. My brother, he's a bodybuilder in Japan. Probably wouldn't appreciate me disclosing the amount he makes, but he makes a very good living from his own branded clothing that he promotes through his bodybuilding YouTube channel and his Instagram channel. And he has, I think, 6 full-time employees. Because he has a business model, he's very abundant. He's not expecting someone to come and say, hey, you have a lot of followers, I'll pay you some money. Because then you're not in control, somebody else is in control, and you don't want that.
So meaning that we can't just depend on the social media, but influencers have to take control of their own financial life by creating sustainable income streams, either through having their own products or providing a certain
100%.
service.
Or create your own funnel, learn some marketing strategies. Your own channel and your brand is going to be the #1 best way to generate income, because who are you paying? You're paying yourself. That's the best way.
Thanks, man. So Ken, you are already somebody that's doing very well.
I'm doing okay, guys. I'm not Gary Vee or Grant Cardone or Tony Robbins. I do what I can.
So how can an app like KOLI help you to be even better at doing what you are already doing?
So, when you showed me the idea about that app thing, the best thing you can do is you want to reinvest your influence into your influence. Now, that may be a little bit confusing. For example, if I was on the platform, what I would do is I would promote the hell out of the platform to get as many people on. Because when you promote the platform and say, hey, come connect with me here, then that raises your equity, okay? For example, if I went to, use the story of Disneyland in Orlando, Florida, Walt Disney himself, he went out there and he says, I'm gonna build this amazing theme park here, and he told his friend, this land is gonna be worth so much, you should buy some, and you make a lot back. And the guy says, well, that's crazy. And Walt Disney built Disneyland. The rest is history. The guy did not make the investment, and he missed out on potentially millions or hundreds of millions of dollars that he could have flipped the land for, or built his own hotels and things. Now it's all surrounded by hotels, and a whole city has appeared around it. In the same way, when there's a new platform, what's the biggest risk? What's the biggest downside? The biggest downside is you spend a bit of time promoting it, and maybe it's not going to be the next Facebook or the next Twitter, but the upside, even if the chance is 1 to 10, if there's only 10% chance of it succeeding and become wildly successful, it's worth a few months of your life to promote the hell out of it. Because if you're early and you promote it, you tell everybody else to get on, then you're raising the potential value, and if it does succeed, you will be the king. You will be sitting on prime real estate because you're an early adopter. If you're an early adopter, even if, and I'm quoting Gary Vaynerchuk here, okay? Thank you, Gary, for the wise advice. There's a new platform out there, then the people who succeed the best are the early adopters who gain large market share. So if you're lucky enough to be approached by someone like Tian Yi who has a new platform, then what you want to do is promote the heck out of it. Get everybody else on it. Because the more people that get on it, the more chance it has to be successful. And because you're early adopter, you have a huge market share, and the best thing you can invest in is your influence, okay? That means that you want to take that market share, that real estate you have on a new platform, and raise the value by bringing more people in. That's just how real estate works, and online is really similar to real estate. So that's my advice.
Well, that reminds me of playing Monopoly, right? You want to be the first person to be throwing the dice, so they can get the real estate first before the people that follow.
And you raise the value by adding more and more houses.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it. That's my advice.
This, quickly go and download the KOLI app, create a profile, use it, and share it with your friends. So,
but don't just share it with friends. Don't just say, hey, make me famous. Think about what's the altruistic reason. Now, let's brainstorm a little bit. How can people get other people to get on for a reason that's bigger than themselves, bigger than others? Because, Tian Yi, for example, if you're on this platform, you say, hey, Ken, could you please hit like, because it'll help make me famous. I'm going to be like, yeah, because you're my friend, I will. But how about a stranger? They're going to be like, screw you, I don't know who you are. Why would I do that? So how can people ask their friends to hit like? That's for a higher purpose.
I believe that if somebody's on KOLI and there are more and more influencers and more engagements of KOLI, the community of influencers will improve, the standard will improve. And eventually, when the standards of these influencers improve, they're able to provide a better service, better presentations, they'll be able to give more of their time and energy more effectively to the businesses and to other influencers in the community. And as a whole, when businesses improves the lives of the consumers, you and I will definitely be improved. Do you
like
have
that.
any other comments?
I do. I would recommend making it even more personal. I would say something like this. Look, if you are an influencer or you want to be an influencer, here's the truth, you're probably going to fail. Now, the fact of the matter is that influencers by nature are very emotional people. You know, they love the colors and the attention and the likes and interaction, and they're not very business minded. Now, here's the thing. If you are an influencer and you know that you suck at accounting and numbers and all spreadsheets and stuff like that, I got good news for you, because it's not about you. It's about showing the younger generation that it's okay to be yourself, express your freedom and attract a lot of attention, and then incorporate a system that somebody else can help manufacture the revenue for you. Because here's the thing, humans are built so that we lean either toward more logical or emotional. The logical side is the business side, and very few people are right down the middle. Very, very few people, and it's a freak of nature when that happens. So I think that if you are lucky enough to be on the more creative, emotional side of things, then you got to grab this chance and get other people on, because you want to spread the message that it's okay for the 9-year-old girl who's wearing that tutu and wants to just do ballet in front of the iPhone and do silly songs. Tell her that it's okay to do that, because there is a system in place that will take care of the rest of it. All she has to do is share her inner child, her joy. Maybe the 80-year-old woman or man wants to be the child again and attract attention. It's okay, because you want to show the world it's okay to be human, it's okay to be uniquely you. You don't have to learn business, you don't have to learn investment, you don't have to do spreadsheets or math or anything. All you have to do is be uniquely you and attract the kind of people that you want to use, only the people you like to hang out with, and let the business system take care of the income. Now, if you believe that humans will be happier, that you'll be happier, that your child will be happier, your friend will be happier by being able to express themselves freely, unfiltered, without thinking they have to think of a business model, then what you want to do is tell as many people as possible to get on this platform and start being themselves. Start expressing freely. Start shouting at the top of their lungs on the rooftops and attract the kind of people, because all you have to do is make other people happy. So if you believe that you can, that somebody in the world, maybe your wife, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, can be happier because they can express themselves freely without having to think that they have to earn a business degree, then promote the heck out of this platform, because this platform has the potential to give them that opportunity.
Yes. So
That's altruistic.
that's right.
It's not about, it's about children and everybody's inner child that wants to come out.
In the end, it's about giving all from your heart, from your soul, and helping to make the world a better place, starting from the people that's right in your life.
100%.
So thank you,
Hey,
Ken.
thank you for making
Learned
an opportunity
so much.
for people who want to share.
Thank you for sharing to our community. Really appreciate it. And if you need any video services, getting to be trained, okay, you want to be trained to be an awesome photographer running a photography business, right? This is the authority, the influencer in this arena. Okay, so Tian here, and see you soon.